Well, here we are, Tom. It's the point of no return. They've lifted the gangplank. I don't know how the pilot's going to get on board, but yeah, there's no going back. Next stop, Great Yarmouth. I have always wanted to do that.
That's what we want. Nice stewardess and caviar. John's a seaman man. He likes going on boats.
Oh, as I said, I wouldn't give him that title on the internet. That's a tricky one to come back from. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the port of Sunderland. I've returned once again on my travels. I'm joined by John, Chairman of Brine Flow. John, why are we back here?
Well, we read the comments. People wanted more. And we've got one of the smaller vessels, the Quay, that is going to shuttle product which was delivered last week by the Schwitz here in Sunderland down to Great Yarmouth. And I've got a surprise because you're going to come with me as we ride the Quay out into the North Sea and into Yarmouth on Saturday morning.
I'm starting to think James doesn't like me. He's definitely not still in the south of France, definitely not on holiday, he wants me to make clear.
Well.
And yeah, I'm being stuck on a boat and coming down to Great Yarmouth, and with a bit of luck, he'll meet us there.
Yeah.
Our good friend Bieber, the pilot, is back on board.
He's doing a fantastic job. Without the pilots, you know, these boats wouldn't get in and out. And the weather, I can tell you, is a lot rougher.
I'm somewhat glad to be on the concrete rather than out at sea today. It was looking a little choppy as the pilot boat went out.
Yeah, we were going to go out on the pilot boat. They called it off, and I'm glad they did. We're on terra firma, and here is the Quay.
That is our home for the next 18 hours.
24, yeah.
Oh,
we're
blimey.
going to be down there, out into the North Sea. I think we're going to see a lot. I've never done the journey before. It's a first for me. I think it's a first for you,
First
Tom.
for me, absolutely.
And, well, let's just see what it takes to get the Fertiliser from Sunderland down to Yarmouth in a much smaller vessel this time. And we'll see life at sea. So this is one of the most delicate parts of the whole voyage, and probably where the pilot earns his money. There's no tugs today. It's not a large vessel that needs tugs. The ship's coming in under its own power. But the pilot's got to sort of line up the ship, which is only about 90 metres long, to pass through two offset dock gates and into the Hendon dock. Now the dock where the ship will berth is probably about 150, 160 years old. It was hand dug, one wheelbarrow at a time, by Irish navvies in the 19th century. But this boat, and you can see it now just pivoting round, has got to squeeze through this gate. The gates are open, it's high tide, so that the height of the water inside and out is equalised. And the swing bridge has been opened especially, and now it's just going to thread its way through. And there isn't a lot of space on either side. It's dead slow, inching its way forward. So Tom, this is going to be our home for the next 24, 36 hours. The sun's come out, which is great news. I really don't know why James and Michael don't really want to be on a vessel like this. It's very stable, it'll sit nicely. Although it's easy to say that from the quietness of the dock. When we get out to the open sea, it might be a little rocky.
Interestingly, John, you won't be able to hear it on the camera, but all the little engines are thrashing away to keep it all in a straight line, aren't they?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So at the forepeak, we've got bow thrusters. So we don't need tugs on this one. The large vessels don't have bow thrusters at the moment, but these smaller vessels have propellers right at the front. They run side to side. That allows the pilot to go left and right a little bit, in addition to the rudder. So the ship's just going to turn around now in the Hendon dock, and it'll just come alongside, and then we'll line up the ship's manifolds with a smaller flexible pipe that goes underground all the way to the terminal. You can see the storage tanks in the background, and we're going to load about half one of the big tanks into this vessel. The vessel will then be full, and we'll take it down the coast to Great Yarmouth, to our sister terminal, which we'll be seeing on Saturday morning.
Obviously, having an extra journey for this fertiliser that came here last week, this boat costs money. I mean, why is this the right decision to do?
Well, it costs, it costs a lot of money, but not as much money as you'd think, and it's certainly less than transporting it by road. Tom, we're a national business, and we cover the entire country from 2 terminals here in Sunderland and 1 in Great Yarmouth, and there's a commercial judgment to be made. It's certainly the case that we can buy more effectively, more cheaply, and at a significantly lower carbon cost by bringing big vessels from Trinidad here to Sunderland. Those vessels can't get into Great Yarmouth, so we shuttle it down the coast, and the landed cost, and that's the important thing, the landed cost of the fertiliser in the tank, whilst it's less here in Sunderland, when you take into account the low cost of the sea freight and travelling from Great Yarmouth, we can deliver much more effectively to the south coast and East Anglia from Yarmouth. It all works well, and that's what we do. So it's very much a commercial judgment. But on balance, the combination of 2 terminals, national coverage, the larger vessels where it counts across the Atlantic, but the smaller ones that can shuttle down the coast, gives us the best opportunity to be price competitive, carbon competitive, and to have the logistics that works without gumming up the roads. So Nathan, you're responsible for connecting the pipe here, and the ship's not quite finished to dock, but how long is it going to take to connect up and start pumping?
Approximately an hour and a half. They'll drop the gangway, we go on board, we get all the documents signed. They'll make the connection while we're doing that, but no time really.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half.
And looking at the manifold thing here, there's pipes of all sorts of different sizes.
Yeah.
How do you know which one to connect? Are there adapters, or how does it work?
So them indicate their inbound line with the flag. You see they've made a makeshift one for high vis. Yeah. So that lets us know where we need to position the ship in line with our pipeline so they can connect.
Yeah.
But the likes of all the other manifolds and pipelines that's what they do.
Because I see there's an adapter on this one. So have we had to buy a special adapter to fix it onto the...
Yeah, so we have any adapter in stock to suit any ship. So the majority of these coasters do all have 10-inch manifolds. Okay. So we always make sure we've got a 10-inch fitting just to accommodate.
Yeah, and so 10-inch, and we've got the pipeline. Is this the same pipeline we'd use for the vessels as large as the Schwitz, or is this a different one?
No, this is a different one. So we solely use this just for loading out. So it's slightly smaller, but it mates the 8-inch pipeline to the tanks. So we have the same internal diameter all the way to the tanks.
So it's going to go down this hole here.
Yeah.
When it's connected. So where does this pipeline go?
So this is the only connection that we do on the shore here. Unlike when we do the larger vessels, we lay out about 300 metres of pipeline. Yeah. On this one, it is just a 25 metres of flexible. So from here, it's about 200 metres of pipeline that goes all the way underground and then meets our tanks.
Into the terminal, and then it'll pop up.
Yeah.
And we'll do it that way. So when we had the Schwitz last week, that was very much the ship discharging, but this is going to be where we load the ship. So the stuff's in reverse. So hopefully we'll be able to see gravity do its work, possibly with a little bit of help from the pump.
Yeah.
And how long is it going to take to load the 4,000 tonnes?
Approximately 12 hours. The ship can take about 400, 410, 420 tonne an hour. Yeah. That's their maximum.
So that's the limitation from the ship?
Yeah, limitation from the ship. We can pump on about 700 to 800 tonne an hour using that pump.
Do the smaller pipe,
So some of the other vessels we had in, we have managed to get up the higher rates into the 600s and 700s an hour. But obviously with this one, we are a bit restricted by the ship. They do struggle with deballasting in the northern waters, so that is a restriction for them.
Yeah, so as we load the tank with fertiliser, this ship has got to discharge ballast that they took on to stabilise the ship in Great Yarmouth, which is where the vessels come from. So it's a bit of a one in, one out sort of process.
So all the wings on the ship will hold the ballast, and obviously they have to discharge it at the similar rate to what we are loading on.
So the ship is in ballast at the moment. There's quite a lot of water there just to hold it stable. As we load it with fertiliser, they'll pump out the water in the fertiliser. And it'll be interesting to see. At the moment it's 3 metres. I think we'll probably get up to about 5.5 metres when the water's out, the fertiliser's in, and the ship will sit a lot lower in the water. We can't go as far as 6 metres because then the ship will be far too deep to get into Great Yarmouth. So this is where the work of the captain will be, just to make that appropriate judgment. I think we'll be loading 4,100 tonnes to get us to 5 metres 40, 5 metres 60, but let's see. Just 24 hours later, you can now see the ship sitting much lower in the waterline, and yesterday it was sort of bounced right up, and now the mark's on 5.9 metres by the looks of it. So yeah, it's really deep in the water. The bulbous bow is submerged, and that's because there's so much more weight on board. And well, Tom, you can see the fishery protection vessel's just about to leave, and we've got to be right after it, so we haven't got much time to sign on and get on the boat. Let's go. Yeah, so the crew's just slackening off the lines. They can't let them go completely yet because the gangplank's still down, but we're really preparing to depart in a few moments. Fishery patrol vessel over there is just squeaking through, and we'll be quickly afterwards. They need a tug. I don't think we do. And well, it's goodbye to Sunderland. We're fully loaded, and Great Yarmouth, here we come. Do you know, I think if James gave this a go, he'd really like it.
I think James only likes boats with stewardesses and caviar.
Yeah. And this one's got a crew of, I think it's Ukrainian, Russian. We might best be sensible not to say too much about that sort of thing, but let's see how they get on. Well, look, this doesn't happen all the time. In fact, this is the first time I've been on a cargo ship to sea, and we've had to have all sorts of special insurances and clearances from customs, from people in the owners, and we're very grateful to all of them. But here's the business end. If everything does go wrong, we've got the lifeboat. We won't be needing it, but one of the checks we had to do was to see, with us two, in addition to the normal crew of 14, was there enough space in the lifeboat? Yes, there is. Hey, we can go.
John, I think we need to paint our own little yellow circles for cameramen on the floor.
Well,
Are they going to come looking for us?
On the other boat, the master was right at the front, but this one, he's right at the back. I'm going to stand next to him.
Okay, so pilot boat's coming into view. That means we really are going. Where we've decided to stand, we're not allowed to be in the bridge for when we go. You can see all the way through, so if you do not like heights, this place is awful, but no, it's good fun. We've just had a quick chat with the captain, and I'm satisfied with the menu. That's what I was most concerned about. Breakfast is at 8 o'clock, dinner's at 6. So that's all looking good, but he says I can't drive it, but I have asked very nicely, but there's still no wind. So James, need you to buy the boat because you'll let me drive it. But Bieber is down there looking very, very tiny. He's going to jump aboard, get us out, and then we'll be on our way. Should be getting to Great Yarmouth at circa 8:30 tomorrow morning.
So we've just come from the bridge. Look, it's dead quiet. The pilot, the captain, so they know what each other's doing, but it's all very quiet, very deliberate, very slow, very organised. We weren't wanted there, just kept quiet. We could quietly film, but it's everything is just so organised. Oh, I'm really spiffing now, aren't I? So the captain has been in this port quite a few times. He knows the pilot knows the captain. There's clearly a trust between them, but everything very delicately. We're lucky there's no wind, so that's made it easier, but the way they were able to pivot the vessel on the forward spring was very clever, and now the pilot's going a little bit forward, getting out of the Hendon dock, and now we're going to pass through the lock gates. It's really tight, so we need to keep our fingers inside, and then before long we'll be out in the open sea. And I'm itching to press the horn. It's dead slow. We're just inching through the number 3 dock gates at Sunderland. Crewmen on the boat, linesmen on the shore, standing by with fenders. But it looks like the pilot's just got it spot on. Good gap, both sides. But he's tacking it just a little bit to the right of the gap, because as we get through this gate, there's another gate ahead of us, so he's got to get himself lined up for that. And the astonishing thing is, that the pilot, well, he's taking it so slowly, he's in a hurry because he's still got to, while the tide is still high, there's a green boat there, the Alclone, and he's got to get that one out as well as another one in the tidal window. So, you know, a true professional. I have always wanted to do that. This is harder than it looks, and it takes some time. And oh, well, now we're swinging now, so now we probably want to straighten up so we don't overcorrect.
You know what this zigzagging, John's going on your diesel bill?
Well, I know, and the thing is, there's, you know, oh, hang on, now we're really going now. Yeah, okay, now we straighten up, yeah. 121. So this is the controlled traffic. Oh, now we've overcorrected. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, okay, we've overcorrected now. And it's only, you only have to move it just a little bit. So you know what, this is a lot harder than it looks like, keeping it on track, but we're not doing too badly. We're 3 degrees to the right of where we need to be.
Luckily for you, John, the captain's experienced it, so he's making it look like you're doing a dead steady job at this. For the people watching, this camera's going left, right here, so...
Mind you, if I want to make you jump, I can just press this button here.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, so where we're aiming isn't necessarily where we're going, because the tide is pushing us down. So we've sort of, and this is quite clever because the computer's calculating it all for us.
Yeah. No, is it for us not too dangerous to open sea?
Yeah.
Absolutely. In case we're approaching in port on the gate, sometimes tide, sometimes currents, sometimes wind pushing us. Is it to be careful because, for example, vessel course like now, I don't know, 120, vessel really moving a little bit away in some possible collision with breakwater, with gate. Yeah, is it?
Good. So how long have you been a captain?
Oh, already from 2014. Yeah,
Right,
on
so
this vessel already 3 years.
Fantastic.
Moment, very back. Okay, is it now at autopilot?
Yeah.
You can push to hand steering now.
No one?
Yeah. Okay, now on the hand steering, is it rather very sensitive? You can change few millimeters and, for example, turn to port. Is it already? You see 5 degrees to port, yeah?
Yeah.
Indicator. You can, and you see in that vessel now, is it start moving to port, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you return back to zero midship.
7.
Yeah, is it midship? But vessel due to have inertia still moving to port, yeah? In case is it starboard 10, yeah. If you rather is it going starboard 10 and vessel should be stop, is it course?
Yeah.
And now is it okay?
So what number am I aiming for?
092, yeah. And ours, no, is it too much? I keep course, please. 115. Is it starboard 10? Keep starboard 10.
Yeah.
Just midship now because you see vessel start moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, midship. And you can see as it's.
Very good.
Well, what do you think of that then, Tom?
I mean, that is...
That's harder than it looked, isn't
Well, on this screen, we can see us when you and I were in control.
Yeah, not for screen you see I already say,
wiggly line.
Is it yes? Is it our weight?
Can we zoom in on that bit there because you can see?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is it our history way? Yeah.
So it should be straight, and we've gone like this.
It's bent like a banana.
Yeah.
But at least the green boat beneath us is going to miss us. Thank goodness for that.
I'll take the credit for that one. Save the day there.
Is it also our log because computer make records all every minute?
So now people are going to think you've been drink driving the boat. Oh, wonky lines.
Yeah.
And all while we've been talking, that vessel, which we thought was going to collide, has just passed behind us.
Just missed us.
It was all under control.
I had it under control, John.
Yeah.
That's the story. I had it under control. Can you see it like splashing away?
Yeah.
So you don't fancy
Have you
it?
filmed all that?
Yeah, I filmed all of it.
Have you been up the front and held onto the white thing like
What, you want John and I to be in Titanic?
Yeah, you and John doing Titanic moment. Rose and whatever it was.
Jack. You're so uncultured.
Rose and Jack up at the front.
You look like you've caught the sun from your not holiday.
Huh?
You look like you've caught the sun from your not holiday.
Well, I do have a habit of sitting there doing nothing else but sitting in the sun, yeah.
Sorry, are we talking about work or when you were away?
Well, I answer the phone in the sun.
Dear oh dear. Well, you've missed out. You've absolutely missed out. Who's that? Has Mara just walked in?
No, it was Gordon.
Oh, fine. Well, as I say,
Yeah.
you should be on this. You would have enjoyed it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you want to really chuckle, I've got more signal on this boat than I do going on the A1.
Okay, no, I've changed it. No, my Starlink is rampant.
I've just seen the video you sent. The Starlink on here is rapid as well.
Rampant.
Well, now in your car, we've got a full-size plug socket and Starlink. We'll be able to upload videos anywhere in the world.
Oh, I mean, that Starlink, compared to what we've been messing about with, is... If he brings phones out...
Who, your mate Elon?
Yeah, me and Elon, he's sorted it.
Well, are you ready to meet us tomorrow morning?
Yeah, 10:30.
Is it 10:30? Yeah, about 10:30.
Well, tell me, I'm not going to sit there and wait for you, so tell me as you get nearer in the morning.
Well, I've got a handle on things, James. All is going well up here.
Well, judging by the fact you're captain now, you ought to be able to work out.
Well, there's lots of levers and lots of buttons I promise not to touch, but they are bloody enticing. There's just a random red button. It might do something fun.
Yes, well, I remember you when you get in my car. Don't touch that. You ought to, I think you need to go do Rose and Jack, you and John. That'd entertain me no end.
Well, we've got dinner to get ready for in T-minus an hour. So,
Oh, God, who's cooking?
the chef.
Is there actually a chef on that boat?
Yes, there's a chef. A chef is a role on this boat.
John's a seaman man. He likes going on boats.
Oh, that's a steady. I wouldn't give him that title on the internet. That's a tricky one to come back from.
That's actually quite good.
Well, this is a different perspective. We're now on the poop deck, don't laugh, because the ship's full of fertiliser. But we're just above the waterline, and of course the ship is sitting deep in the water because it's so full. But we're doing about 12 knots, and it's a lot windier than you think, which is probably why, as you get down here, you can see the rocking of the boat. We can't go much further than this without all our safety gear on in this weather, but yeah, we're making good speed, and we're about 8 miles offshore. And if we carry on like this, we'll be in Great Yarmouth in 13 hours' time. So the saucepans are kept together, so when the ship rocks, nothing ends on the floor. It's dishwasher, sink. Well, it's just like home.
The thing is, I think we'd told James the menu, he would have been much more keen.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
The heart is either by food or by winter sun.
Yeah, no. The thing is, so the boat just rocked there, and the easiest thing you might want to do is put your hand out straight onto the hot stove, so you've got to be careful. So the captain and the officers have calculated precisely how much fertiliser we can take on this vessel from Sunderland to Yarmouth, so the ship is full, so we get the best economy, but not so full that we touch cloth, scraping along the bottom as we get into port, and we've loaded 4,100 tonnes.
And of that 4,100, about 2,500, 3,000 on its way to
Probably, yeah. I mean, if James was to take all his deliveries all at once, and of course we even it out through the season, but he'd take nearly 3/4 of this ship.
He's going to be very upset that if we look out there, everything is red. I think he'd be here with his paintbrush, touching everything up in green, wouldn't he?
Well, there's a lot of paint on this ship. You can see it's been painted and painted. It's not as new a ship as the large one that came across the Atlantic last week, but it's a good workhorse, and this is the second of 3 voyages it's going to take, shuttling product down the coast really fuel efficiently at really low cost to Great Yarmouth, to our sister terminal where we've got 25,000 tonnes of storage, will hook up to the pipeline, and then they're going to do it all again. So this ship will be in Sunderland on Bank Holiday Monday, having discharged on Saturday tomorrow. Well, James wanted the Titanic moment. I'm not sure we're going to be able to give it to him, Tom. I don't think we really need to go much further forward than this, with all these stroll wires and everything. But we're at the front of the ship. There's the ship's bell. It's quite breezy, and the ship is rocking a bit, more than I thought it would do. But looking back at where we've come from, you can see the bridge where we were. Hold tight. Life on the ocean wave. What could be better? Well, we've just come into the engine control room with the chief engineer here, who's a Ukrainian, and it's quite interesting because it's a mixed crew here on this vessel, Ukrainians and Russians. But I can't tell you how hot and how noisy the engine room has been. Huge 8-cylinder engine with all the other associated stuff.
We can control all the parameters of the unit, main engine, gearbox, and all the rest.
Yeah.
This is the main parameters, like also exhaust gases, of course.
Yeah. And this looks really modern. Is it new or?
Yeah, this is new.
It is new.
This is a system installed last year, 1 year ago.
And how old is the ship?
She is 20 years old.
Really?
21st coming, yeah.
So they're keeping it up to date. That's really good to know. How many people do you have in your team?
In the engine room team we have 4 of us now, but now sometimes the electrician also coming to us.
Okay.
A few months per year.
So
now it's 5 of us.
Okay, so a third of the crew is really here below the waterline, making sure all the equipment is working.
Yes, yeah. Everybody knows how to operate from engine room, of course. So we are happy. We're just making our job.
Yeah, good. Well, I don't know what you thought about that, Tom, but the heat, the noise.
Small space.
Small space.
Very small, very low. I'm glad I have a hard hat on. I think I hit my head on every single pipe that was important to this ship.
You know, and we're absolutely in the bowels of the ship. You could see the propeller shaft going round.
Yep.
That huge 8-cylinder engine. I mean, we tried to talk, but there was no way.
Forget it. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen, was it? It was unbelievable. And we saw the way the rudder. Is that what we're going to call it? Where that was, and how that's controlled from the inside. But
pivoting, So because in the port, when you go around the engine room, there's it's all still, it's controlled. The engines aren't working flat out, whereas here they're working absolutely flat out to drive us forward at 12 knots. And the thing that surprised me as well was that a third of the whole crew works in the engine room, keeping everything spick and span, the engines, the motors, the electricity, the propulsion, everything was there. And of course the firefighting was a big thing as well.
Yeah. No, it's a very well-oiled machine. There's no two ways about it. You've got, about a third of the crew on deck, a third of the crew up here navigating and other roles, and then a third of the crew in the belly of the beast sorting out the engine and all the rest of it.
And talking of the belly, there's a chef as well who did a really good job.
That was really good. We had, what did we have? We had turkey, chicken, prawns.
Yes, shallon prawns, some rice, a beetroot thing.
We refer to it as beetroot surprise, but still to this day, I'll put a picture up of what dinner was. It was very good.
So it's about 10 o'clock, you can see it's dark, and it's really interesting. We're about 20 miles, okay, so about 10 o'clock, it's dark, you can see that. We're about 10 miles off Flamborough Head in the North Sea, which I suppose is sort of just diagonally down a little bit from Scarborough and Bridlington. And there's so much going on, it's astonishing. So just over there, there's a fishing boat. We've looked in through the binoculars, we can see that because all the deck lights are on. There's some bulk carriers there. And we're about to pass in about 20 minutes, very close to an unmanned, it's astonishing, an unmanned gas rig that is putting 300 million cubic feet of gas ashore every day. It's a massive installation and there's nobody there. Well, Tom, we survived the night. Quite a few surprising things going through the oil rigs, or gas rigs rather, of the Humber. Just to our left-hand side now, there are some in the Lehman field. We've crossed the interconnector that brings gas to the UK and seen huge numbers of wind turbines, and now we're just off the Norfolk coast. quite a few surprises. It turns out by going quite close to the gas rigs last night at about midnight, my mobile phone picked up international mobile roaming, so there's a £150 bill there. So you live and learn, but here we are. What do you think? How did you sleep?
Not too badly. It's weird, you fall asleep on one side and you wake up on the other side of yourself. You don't really know where you're coming or going.
Yeah.
We just put the drone up.
Yeah.
That was...
I think we both got bed heads in the sense that, well, you're too tall for the shower.
Yep.
And I didn't have an ensuite like you did, so
Well,
there we are.
luckily the only person who has to see me is James in the car ride home, but I think I'm going to be fast asleep, so it should be not too bad. We'll overlay some of the drone footage. We just sent the drone up this morning. It is first time flying it off a moving platform that's not a combine. The idea of trying to land it is pretty tricky because you have to land at speed rather than coming in stationary. So
And we're going 9 knots forward. So we were doing about 12 knots overnight. The tide was behind us. We're now doing about 8 knots. There's no point steaming full speed ahead because we'd only have to wait for the pilot at the other end. So the captain's done a pretty good job. He's precisely calculated how to get there at the most economical speed, burning as least fuel as possible without undue waiting at the other end. And I hope that James will be there at the end of the pier to see us come in. Well, we're very much on the home straight, probably about 2 miles away from Great Yarmouth, our destination, and only a few hundred metres away from this huge wind farm off the coast. So actually, when you think about what goes on in the continental shelf just off our coastline, you've got gas rigs, you've got oil rigs, you've got these wind turbines, huge amount of international trade and shipping. It's a world that most of us never get to see, and we've had a ringside seat.
So the pilot is aboard, we are coming in. This is where we'd like to cut to some footage from the port. However, if you're not seeing any right now, what's happened is James is there, but he's getting his car cleaned, so he's completely missed the boat. So it depends. If you're seeing some nice overlay footage that's probably quite shaky, looks like it's from an iPhone, James made it. If not, he's faffing around, probably drinking a can of Coke, eating a Kit Kat, and yeah, he's missed it completely.
And watching TikToks.
And watching TikToks, which to be fair, I can't speak ill of. We've been within sight of this now for probably what, the past 2 hours, John?
Yeah.
And I've put in a good stint on TikTok, and luckily spare battery packs kept us going, but the Starlinks kept the content going. But yeah, we're coming in. There's many other vessels. There's one in the distance there, the camera won't be able to pick it up, that was the one that was crashed into, that was in the news a couple of months ago.
That was the aviation petroleum boat, Avgas, and it was T-boned off the Humber and completely burned out, and that's the wreck. And as we came down the coast, we could see the huge gash in the hull where it was absolutely T-boned.
All right, so this is the ship with the fertiliser. It's just coming into Great Yarmouth. We're at the pier at the end here, and John is at the top there, and the tall gangly one is Tom, and they've been on this at Sunderland yesterday. What time did they leave? Do you remember? 2 o'clock yesterday. So this has got the fertiliser on it, and sides are quite low actually. I'm quite surprised how low the sides are. But, there they are. I don't think they've had any sleep. I think it's been fairly rough. But, yeah. Let's see if they can walk straight when they get off. And there's the escape raft on the back.
Now people say, well, why don't we bring in the big boats from Trinidad straight into Yarmouth? And we're about to see why. This vessel is 99.4 metres long, and it's about as long as you can get into Great Yarmouth, because we've got this right-hand bend, and if we were any longer ships would get wedged in the corner. So that's sort of what limits the size here into the river port in Great Yarmouth. But on balance, the combination of the huge ships to Sunderland and the little shuttles down the coast works well for us. It's really efficient, keep everywhere topped up, and it's much easier for James to come to Great Yarmouth to collect than he would if he went to Sunderland. So, you know, on balance, this is how we get the national coverage.
And we've got the welcoming ho party, and they're lifting up now the effectively like the bridge, the ladder. and then they're going to put it between this and where the rubber is on the handlebars there, and then that's how they then get across. So, and then they'll connect the pipe up next. There's the pipe ready and waiting. So they use this crane effectively to be able to move things about, like grab the pipe, put it across, you know, to where it's got these different tank connections. Interesting that the tank connections are all bolted. It's not a sort of push fit type scenario. Everything's still bolted, which surprises me. Well, they'll say it's to do with the pressures, no doubt, and the litres being pumped in one go. But yeah, so handy little crane, 3.2 tonne, goes at 14 litres. And the others no doubt getting their stuff together, and they'll be coming out. And there's Andy down the end there. He's come with the lorry, so he's waiting to get a delivery of Fert, so he can then take the Trinidad Fert straight back to the farm and fill up, start filling up the tanks for winter storage effectively. I think that's the pilot boat just pulling in behind. That's what took them out originally, took all these people out. I'm amazed how many people are actually engaged in the activity of bringing a ship into port. As I said, I believe it's 8 people who go out. Well, I suppose then of course there's 2 on the boat, so that's 10. And then you had the 2 which are on here, that's 12. And then you've got the number of staff here which are here. It's a Saturday. You've got another 4 here, so you've got 14. So effectively there's 14 people engaged in this coming in and then starting to pump.
Well, Captain, thank you so much for hosting us, for feeding us, for transporting the fertiliser down. I've been so impressed how everything is calm and measured, very organised, 24 hours a day, of course. I hope you've enjoyed having us. We've certainly enjoyed being here. And Tom, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, I suppose. So, but the work isn't complete because we've just got to lower the gangplank, hook up the pipe, and then see James.
They haven't even secured it, and Tom is already queuing with his camera and bag to get off. Look, pale. Yeah, that boy is pale. Yeah. John's loving it. He's a seafaring character. Yeah. Look, poor old pugwash here.
We made it.
There we are.
Right, so you've literally been stood now on firm ground for about 1 minute.
It is, yeah. We've just
Can
got
you,
off,
can you feel a difference?
No.
Okay, you are very good on the seas though, aren't you? You can cope.
Yeah, but I've heard you're not.
No way. I saw the video he sent this morning. Like this. Tom will put it on just to show it. And I can look at that and I can almost feel it.
Can you really?
And when you said this morning, hurry up, and I'm having my car washed, because and you're saying hurry up, the pilot boat, and I said I'm not getting on the pilot boat, John. I'm not getting on the pilot boat. You can get that idea out your mind.
I think we knew that.
Yeah.
But the time and tide waits for no man, and there was a tide window. We just had to meet it. But
the sun's come out now.
And it has, but it was nice to see you waving your hand off at the end of the pier.
So what I was amazed at, a couple of things. I reckon there's about 14 people engaged currently in this boat coming into dock.
Yeah, there's 14. The crew is 14. Tom and I made 16.
Yeah.
We're on the manifest.
But then not just that, you've got your team here, right? You've got the 2 here that did the ropes.
The linesman.
You've got the 2 in the pilot boat.
Yes, that's correct.
And then I think there's 8 that they sent on board.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because the ship's agent, there's shortly to be a company inspection. It's a routine, not every voyage, but on this one. There's a huge amount of people involved. And of course it's duplicated the same at the other end at Sunderland.
But interestingly, that the port take over the mooring of the boats. They won't let the staff on board do it.
No.
They take over. And do they have another captain up there bringing it in?
Yes, so the captain and the first mate were on the radio to the deck crew here. Obviously the pilot's in touch with the ground, the shoreside guys. And it's sort of very precisely done, very measured. They're experienced people.
So how much is on board?
There's 4,106 tonnes on this one.
So I've got a lion's share of that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, crumbs. Yeah. Okay, so it's not in green though, I must say, John. It's not quite PX shipping yet.
No. But I'm sure if you asked the captain, could you put it on the paintbrush?
You reckon
Yeah.
he would?
Yeah.
They're going to have time. Where are they going next?
They're going back up to Sunderland, and we're going to do another one.
Do they go back empty?
Yes, no, they will get. So as we discharge, as the fertiliser gets taken off, the ship will naturally rise out of the water.
Yeah.
So they compensate by putting
Seawater.
river water in.
Yeah.
And so we get a maintenance there, maintain
Yeah.
the stability of the vessel.
I'm pleased you said that,
it'll
because
go up in ballast.
I was saying that earlier. I thought they did that, but I wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll sit too proud out
Why?
of the water.
Why? And there's nothing to go north.
No. It'll be 18 hours back. So in 36, probably about 2 days, we'll be back here. Bank holiday Monday.
And they basically, the whole Trinidad ship is coming back here.
Not only a proportion of it.
Okay.
Because remember, half the vessel we're going in the north of England.
Okay.
Half the south.
Yeah.
And of course, we could ask you to go all the way to Sunderland.
Yeah.
But it's a long way, and
Yeah.
it's much easier.
It wouldn't be for us.
Exactly right.
Yeah, the cost of hauling a lorry all the way up there. I mean, Andy's down at the bottom, and he's
Yeah.
here with the lorry already.
Yeah.
So what is the mix of this?
This is a very concentrated solution.
Is it 39?
No, it's 32% by weight.
Yeah.
It's just about 40% by weight volume.
Yeah.
But we will then, the fertiliser you have isn't neat. You
No.
would scorch the crop.
Yeah.
So we dilute it a little bit with rainwater.
This doesn't have sulphur, I'm assuming.
No.
You're adding the sulphur now in the tanks.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
about 3 weeks ago, a different boat came full of liquid sulphur. So we mix that in. It's all stored in the tanks, and we know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And we've made it in advance, so it'll be put on to Andy in the lorry.
Where's the sulphur come from?
The sulphur now comes from the continent. They used to make it here in the UK, but since the Billingham ammonia factory closed down,
Okay.
it's now imported from either Galine or Rouen, and there are other sources
Why
as well,
did,
even from Italy sometimes.
Why did that factory close down?
Well, because Northwest Europe is a very expensive place to produce ammonia.
Because of energy costs.
Yeah. And CF fertilisers at Billingham used to not only produce fertiliser, ammonium nitrate, but they sold a lot of ammonia into the process industries.
Yeah.
That's all fallen away. So it
Because
comes from the
interestingly,
US now.
did the Clean Air Act have a part in sulphurs as well?
Not really. I mean, this is all about the economics of producing fertiliser in Northwest Europe.
Because we used to get
the world's most expensive place to make
sulphur,
it.
which was washed when they used to wash the inside of the chimneys.
Oh, yeah.
They used to get sulphur from that, and then we used to get a sulphur mix that came from that process.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the concentration.
Yeah.
I mean, your fertilisers are some of the most concentrated fertilisers that are used in British farming. They're
I do that for efficiency
Well,
of
course.
application.
Yeah, because ours are 23% more concentrated than
Oh, is that right?
many of the other people in the industry.
Oh, so they're more like 26 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
24%,
Yeah.
26%
Yeah.
sometimes. And so that means...
And to recap, my last batch last year we had 13.5 sulphur.
That's correct.
Whereas previous to that we had 13.10.
Yeah.
When we were growing more oilseed rape, effectively canola, we went for the 10 because it required more sulphur. And now we're not growing that, and because mustard doesn't yield as much, you don't need as much sulphur, so that's why we dropped it to 35. Actually, sulphur element is quite expensive, isn't it?
It is and it isn't. I mean, you get it back in the crop, of course.
Yeah.
But I think the point is, by having the concentrated mixers, 23% more concentration, that means there's 23% less haulage.
Yeah.
You can replenish 23% faster,
yeah.
and of course, a sprayer load in the field
Yeah, logistics.
does 23% more rounds.
Yeah.
So there's less road
Well,
miles.
23% is massive, actually, isn't it, in efficiency terms?
Well, it's huge, and I don't know why. I suppose farmers have been creatures of habit.
Yeah.
But as we have to grind out every single
Yeah.
penny out of the job, the world's going to liquid, and it's going to the concentrated grades, including the sulphurs, and we're going to see some in a minute.
Do you have an issue, the fact that you've got a liquid fertiliser on board of nitrogen that you are then pumping it in? Are there environmental concerns about that activity, or is it an accepted process?
No, I mean, this is the very first time the fertiliser, which has been manufactured in Trinidad, come across the Atlantic, transshipped in Sunderland, coming into here, mixed into your lorries, and then applied. The very first time that fertiliser will meet the atmosphere is in your field.
Okay.
It's a completely closed, secure loop. This pipe has been pressure tested.
Yeah.
You didn't see that. It was done yesterday in preparation.
Yeah.
The tanks are closed. There's no oxidation because the tanks are sealed.
Yeah.
So there's no oxygen
Yeah.
to get at the fertiliser.
We're going to walk over there, aren't
we'll
we?
do
See
that.
the lorry. Yeah, okay. So people can see actually where this is an underground pipe, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this
so
is
it's going to
well,
go
this
down
is
this
overground,
line.
but we
No,
dug
but
it under the road.
Yeah. So we're going to go. That goes back into your main
Yeah.
bund.
And probably that's where we'll go.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go on board.
Tom's face says I don't need to.
Fair enough.
So Andy's come up with the lorry here with the tanker on. It's 30,000 litre tanker, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't take 30 though, because nitrogen, we're about 1.2 Pacific weight, as opposed to water's 1 to 1. So effectively he'll get about, is it about 26,000 litres?
22.
Oh, 22,000 litres.
It's 1.3 specific gravity, yeah, so you won't... 23,000 will take you up to the payload. They'll get you up to 44 tonne gross.
So, but this, I think this is an old beer tanker. I think this is what this was originally. And so Andy's weighs in here, and then he goes and connects up and fills up, and then it's pretty seamless, isn't it?
I don't have to do anything. The boys here do everything here.
You just pull up.
Just pull up and they connect everything up.
Like every day at work for you, Andy.
Oh, I won't tell you.
We try and get everybody in and out.
Yeah.
And you've been here before, you know.
Oh, yeah, loads of
but,
times, yeah.
I mean, half an hour is an outside target, but often it's quicker than that.
It wouldn't be half an hour, would it?
If they put it in the mixers, the farm mixers, and that's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in and out within half an
Yeah.
hour. Yeah.
But your grade, it's got a popular grade. We've got a strategic stockpile of that.
Yeah.
So it's already drawing
goes,
off.
Yeah, you're not having to make it specifically on the day. Yeah.
It's
No,
hook
sort of
up and off
straight
we
in,
go.
hook in and go.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And then Andy will fill up the tanks. We've only got 8 tanks actually, but we've got a plan to build some others. But I'm not a great fan of storing it myself.
No.
I much rather come here, you store it,
Yeah.
because then I'd rather get 3 or 4 tankers on if we need to. We've typically been running 3, and then we just bring them up. There's always one with the sprayers, and then the others are one here, technically one in on the way, and do it like that, and then I don't have any issues.
Exactly.
And to me, that's worked ever so well. And
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's easier.
It is, isn't it? Because you guys just get in a rhythm, and it's
really
easy.
good.
It's a good journey up here, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
it's
A11,
nice.
etc.
Yeah,
It's all dual carriageway,
Yeah.
apart from this last bit.
Last bit.
But
Well,
the bit
when
on
you
the.
get that done, that'll be better. That last little bit.
Are they going to do that?
Or the blowfield bit, but not the main apron
Oh, okay.
straight.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
think that'll ever get done. But
I'm not now it's a 50 mile an hour limit.
Yeah.
But I think the point is, you get going, you're hardly in and out of the gearbox at all. The
that's
motor's
it.
cruising.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's
You're at the other end.
you're
anyway.
at the other end.
Yeah.
It's very
And
slick.
the thing is, if we put it in our own tanks, we have to collect it from here, put it in the tanks. He has to then go to those tanks, fill those tanks up again, to then take to the sprayer, as opposed to we're doing it where we come here, fill up the tanker here, he goes straight to sprayer.
Go straight to sprayer or straight to store.
So just in time is really important, but just in time only works if you've got the strategic storage and the secure supply lines, and I think that's what we bring to the party.
Yeah, that's what works for us.
Yeah.
We have about 80 different types of liquid fertiliser.
80?
80 different grades. There's combinations of nitrogen, sulphur. Sometimes people just want urea solutions. And so we're mixing all, and of course there's manganese and magnesiums as well. So we can mix with this powdered.
I mean, it looks just like snow, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. It's powdered ammonium sulphate.
I mean, you wouldn't spread it, would you? It's so fine.
No. But we'll dissolve
It's like
that.
a crystallised.
That's exactly what it is. It's crystalline ammonium sulphate. And depending on the particular requirements a customer may have, we will mix the fertiliser that's come from Trinidad in with some of this ammonium sulphate here. It gets quite cold. And so we apply some secondary heat. This is why we don't like to do it.
Where do you get the heat from?
Well, from kerosene boilers.
Oh, I see.
And so, and it depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
So
it's efficient for you to mix this time of year, and not in the middle of the winter.
Precisely, that's correct.
But winter would be quite an efficient time for you to do it, wouldn't it? Pre-spring.
Well, but then we've got to store it. The key thing is, for those people who want different types of mixers, we will optimise the combination of nitrate, ammonium and ureic together with the sulphur.
How quick could you make a mix? So say I rang up and said, look, I'll send in a lorry, I need a particular one of the 80 mixers that you don't have in stock.
Yeah.
How quickly could you make it?
Well, your mixers, because they're all in liquid, ammonium thiosulfate liquid, UAN liquid, 20 minutes, you know.
It's quick.
Almost instant.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones here, we may prepare. And so we have some smaller storage tank for the bespoke mixers.
Yeah.
But your products come out of the large tanks.
Yeah.
Because it's mainline products, in and out.
So it's quick.
Very
but it's
quick.
all this. Does it take 2 or 3 days to dissolve?
Oh,
Is
no,
that-
no. It's 20, 30 minutes in the mixer.
It's quick as well.
Oh, it's really quick. We just have to apply a little bit of heat.
Just to, people looking at this, it looks basically like sugar. It's that granulated look, isn't it?
Yeah, crystalline.
Very
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
And where's it come from?
Do you know what? I don't know.
I mean, is it UK?
Oh no, it'll be near continent.
Oh, so did it come on a ship that got unloaded?
Yeah, elsewhere, and we'll bring this in by a lorry load from other specialists.
Okay.
Industrial users.
Okay.
I mean, ammonium sulfate is sometimes a byproduct of the plastics industry.
Oh, really?
So your soft fascia in your car, so you don't hurt yourself, so they've got to have a certain amount of give.
Yeah.
Ammonium sulfate is a byproduct of that. And so the production
interesting.
will crystallise it and send it over to us via people who use a bigger quantity.
And in Trinidad, I just want to talk about Trinidad for a
go on.
second. So where are they getting where are the ingredients coming from? They've got the cheap energy.
Yes.
But that's a government cheap energy source.
Well,
is
so
it?
Trinidad, it sounds like a lovely place to go on holiday, and perhaps we will one day. Just have to buy a bit more. And but it's in the Venezuelan gas basin.
Okay.
And it's amongst the world's most potent, highest calorific value gas.
Okay.
And so they don't need to heat their homes.
Yeah.
And people need ammonia and
Yeah.
fertilizers, and there's a huge fertilizer industry in Trinidad, away from the rum punches and the sangrias and the pina coladas, and it's very, very efficient and huge business. And they convert the natural gas into ammonia, to melamine, to methanol, and UAN.
Okay.
And we have an offtake agreement with them.
Who do you have to have the agreement with? Was it with a private company or was it with the government there?
Well, we're in a joint venture here at Brian Flow with a German company, and they have the exclusive offtake of 1.8 million tonnes of liquid fertiliser a year. Directionally, about 1 million tonnes goes to the US, and Europe, 800,000 tonnes, and we take out of the European
And
pool.
just remind me, what did that big boat take?
The large vessel that we saw last week in Sunderland, 45, 50,000 tonnes.
Okay.
But
so 20 of those is the requirement to Europe.
Precisely.
Yeah, okay.
And then that vessel, on this occasion, tipped in Ghent.
Yes.
But there's others go to Santander, La Palisse, Rouen, Sunderland.
Yeah.
So there's a...
And was I right in understanding that they always has to offload before it comes to Sunderland?
Yes, because in Sunderland they can take 8.5 metres depth. Just as here in Yarmouth it's 6.
Yeah, so just talking about that, we were talking about the 6 metre. We went back to the back of the ship, didn't we, and actually saw it, and it was dead on the line of the 6 metre. So 8.5, I'm assuming that is a much wider boat, so of course, it doesn't have the depth of bow, one for better
Well, yes,
word.
because the vessel we had last week was twice as long and just over twice as wide.
Yeah.
It can hold 8 times as much.
Yeah.
Because it goes up in the square because of the depth.
Yeah.
So, it's...
So 8.5 metres it can go to Sunderland.
Yes.
So what would it have gone to, 12 metres or something when it was coming across the sea in Trinidad?
Probably, yes, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is an inefficiency in the sense that it's always got to go into Europe first before it can come into the UK because of the...
I don't think it's an inefficiency because actually, commercially, would we want to put everything, take a position in the market for the whole ship? No, I mean, that would be, it's like you're choosing a moment. What we try and do is spread our risk over multiple cargoes.
Yeah, you've got 20 cargoes basically.
And the ability to share a vessel with our friends in Europe it works out very commercially.
How much does the UK take of that 800,000?
The UK market for UAN is approaching, but by 2030 it will be 1 million tonnes a year. At the moment it's about 700.
So it's a growing market.
Oh, hugely, yeah. It's growing at about, our business is growing at about 20% a year, 22% a year, although the underlying UAN business in the UK is growing at about 13% a year. And what tends to happen is if someone buys a new sprayer, or a trusted employee retires, or somebody takes on extra land.
That's when liquid starts to fall in. Well, I mean, one of the things I like about liquid is you can put it in a tank. I know I've got it here, but you can put it in a tank on offline farms, and you're not having to unload it with forklifts, load it back on, put it on trailers, then have to plastic waste. What are you doing with it? I mean, that over there looks to be urea. So you've got urea stacked up. That is typically what, Tom, if you scan over and look at that, please, the bags, that is typically what normal fertiliser would come in that format, as opposed to putting it in liquid.
Yeah, and the key thing is, I mean, you're absolutely right, James. By the time you factored in the transport off the lorry in bags, into the store, out of the store, onto a trailer with an extra forklift.
Cost of the bag, what's that, £10-12 a bag?
All of that, and then there's the waste. Now there's a significant plastic waste cost at the end. And then you have a fertiliser spreader.
Yeah.
Well, your spinner is £30,000 to buy. It may last 6 years. That's £5,000 depreciation a year for that alone. Yeah. You've got a sprayer, use that anyway. So what we find is...
We've done that, John. We don't even own a spreader.
Yeah.
So we've been, but Father's been since the 70s been liquid fertiliser. So I've known no different.
Indeed.
I have in my career, I have gone to granule, but one of the things I like specifically about liquid is that the width of the sprayer is where it drops. Yep. Whereas with a spreader, it's very susceptible to wind.
That's correct.
So of course you're trying to chuck that, and now I'm going to 48 metres. I'm sure there are some granules that you can get to go to 48, 52, but you are now really at the limit.
You're the limit of physics. And of course, with these sprayers, as you turn around, nowadays they're so advanced. Yeah. The valves on one
faster and slower.
The other dilates, so you've got complete evenness of application.
Well, because what used to happen was as you went, effectively the boom was swing, so that got a little amount, half the amount on it, but this one just got double dosed.
Precisely, because so, and what we think is, very directionally, when you think of per kilogram of nitrogen in the field, liquids are about 20% lower landed cost in the field. Yeah. When you take all those efficiencies of liquid, no double handling, no plastic.
But it's the dry time, John, when it's more likely to get in the plant in a liquid base and a granular base that needs the moisture to break down.
Well, and we've seen that this season.
And not just this season, though. It feels like drought in that spring has become a really prevalent part, hasn't it?
Yeah, and so we're very much focused. As soon as it hits the ground...
Next year, you know, it's going to be worse. It's going to be, going to be a dog, isn't it?
But as soon as it hits the ground, it's there, ready to work. It's not sitting on the soil waiting for the rain, which may never come. Yeah. And the other thing about liquids, which we're very pleased about, is it's the combination, the agronomic combination of nitrate, ammoniacal and ureic, which is optimum for the plant. So you have the nitrate to get the crop going, and then there's staying power throughout the season as the ammonium and the ureic proportion kicks in.
I think it's important to mention that John is also a fellow Nuffle scholar. And you did yours in 1998, is that right?
95.
95. But yours was on fertiliser, but it was actually on precision of fertiliser placement, wasn't it?
We 30 years ago, can I believe it, built our own GPS, dynamised, fertiliser spreading, variable application. Back then it was a commercial disaster. We were 30 years ahead of our time. Yeah. But nowadays these precision points are really important. And there's not enough money in the farming. Yeah. So every single marginal gain needs to be exploited.
We are very much a 1-2% industry, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've got to make these tiny changes all the time to make the profit.
That's exactly right.
He's just going to swing round and then pump on here, and we'll watch him pumping in. But it's a really slick system. You've got the 4 fill-up points, and the lorries just pull up, because we often have a couple here come together sometimes, because they do have a habit of, even if you set them apart, they end up meeting. They've got like an umbilical cord between them. Yeah. And he'll load up. And I love how you're using like the fuel connectors so they don't leak.
Nothing
and when you
leaks.
take them off, they're not chucking the fert out all over the floor.
No, there's no spillage. I mean, this is really important. And also, what you won't have seen, but in the weighbridge, we have calculated precisely, based on his tare weight and the specific gravity of the product, how many litres we will load onto.
And it auto pumps.
Yeah, auto pumps.
And then turns off.
And it'll slow down, so he's going out maximum payload. Yeah. And we found that in itself is about a 2 to 3% efficiency gain on just sort of loading from the top and keeping your fingers crossed.
Well, it's also time because, otherwise we found it with the grain stores that you are very reliant upon the efficiency of a driver getting in and out of his cab, doing whatever he has to do. Whereas this actually, you took a lot of this, as Andy said earlier, the guesswork's gone.
It's no guesswork.
It's filled up, and we've got that maximum efficiency dragging all the way back to Cambridge or Lincolnshire or Bedfordshire, wherever we're going.
If you're going to put diesel in the lorry, you want to carry as much weight as you can. And it's another 2 or 3% efficiency gain. And bottom loading is also much more safe as well, and that's another important thing. Strictly speaking, you shouldn't go on top of the wagon if it's too windy. I
was just watching him actually. I know he's doing that to obviously to let the air out or whatever, but I thought they actually had auto valves on. So in theory, you shouldn't have to go up there at all.
He shouldn't. Well, it really depends on the tanker. I don't know what you've bought, what tanker you've bought in, but most tankers now have a vented at the top. Obviously, they're internally baffled, so as you go around the roundabout, the momentum of the liquid doesn't take it over.
Take the lorry forward.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right, so John, these tanks, how much does each one of those hold?
Well, we've got 7 tanks. The smaller tanks at the front hold about 1,000 tonnes each. Around the back, they're 6,500. They're about 2 rings shorter than the ones in Sunderland. For a whole variety of planning reasons. There's Nelson's monument there, and they didn't want us to
height
on that. But we've got Lego blocks as the bund here. There's special sealant between each.
I got a price. Ian very kindly told me who you got the tanks from, and I got a price because I thought I'd put one in.
Ouch.
Frightening.
Yeah, it is frightening.
They're glass lined, aren't they?
So they're steel, but they're enamelled tanks, and they're put together.
But it was a frightening cost, John. I mean, I can't remember what it was now, but it was proper money.
Oh, it's heavy
and
money.
I would never have seen the value back.
No, and James, it's not the tank is the cheapest thing. The cost is in the ground.
I know, because you've had to pile, but then you're not sitting on clay, are you?
No.
Which is, that's their one advantage. My grandfather always said the best thing with our clay land was to build houses on it. That's the best thing for clay. Right, so this is, I'm really impressed with this. We use these to fill up the army barrels and things at the farm for fuel. I think we need to move towards this, even if we do it in the spray store or something, because what I like about it is it's the auto seal. We have a habit of putting the pipe down afterwards.
Oh no, and it leaks everywhere.
And it's just everywhere.
Oh no.
And it's making a mess. And so, whether that's water or whatever's going on. So putting something like this in has created that valve on it. He plugs that straight onto the tanker. You said that will auto-fill him. And then he'll close his hatches, and then he goes and weighs out and he's off.
Well, James, just think how many lorries a day come through this terminal. If we wasted a whole pipeline through on every lorry,
hopeless.
It'd be heavy money.
So, it'd be the pollution risk as well.
Well, there's all of that as well. So we've got these self-loading, self-sealing pipes. Of course, we've got all the adapters. So whatever tanker comes in, we put the adapter on, seal into that. There's no spillage. There's no waste. And part of that is being efficient, environmentally aware, but it's part of the saving we pass on in the lowest landed cost.
But, outside of the environmental thing, but there is also doing things which you think is right. For every reason.
That's exactly right, and it's the combination of gravity feeding, because we're slightly at a lower point here. It's all been thought through. So that whilst the pump,
is that gravity?
So the pump is its little helper.
Okay.
But most of the pressure to load, 2.5 bar, is going to come from
I didn't appreciate
from the gravity
that.
that's coming
I didn't
down
appreciate that was gravity
coming
filling
down.
this lorry.
Yes, we boosted up.
Okay. Yeah, good.
And that's a marginal gain. Less electricity. We only need about 100 kVA.
Are these filters?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
It's a sock filters.
So there is a filter in here that's stopping bits of plastic or something like that come through.
I mean, we don't need it, but it's part of our obsession about...
Well, we don't want it in the sprayers.
No, belt and braces.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so the fertiliser comes out of the ship into the tank, into the lorry. It's untouched by human hand. The tanks are sealed, so there's no rain or dust or contamination. But we filter it anyway, because when you're in the field, you don't want your sprays nozzles. I mean, in the old days, when I'm going back 10 or 15 years ago, we stored fertiliser in lagoons. The rabbit would fall in, the fertiliser would eat the rabbit, and the fur would get left behind. The fur blocks the sprayer, just like your shower.
The plastic bags would turn up.
Awful.
And so John Steppings.
Seppo, yes. He's dead now, sadly.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's a real...
So I'll tell you a quick story about him. Every time my father used to call him up to organise getting the fertiliser deliveries, he would always tell Father he was so busy. He was the busiest man you would ever meet, and he hadn't got time. So he used to tell Father that he was so busy he hadn't had time to eat. So Father went and bought fish and chips in Cambridge, posted them to Great Yarmouth, so when he opened up his parcel he had fish and chips in it. I didn't think you Norfolk boys could read or write. Can you do numbers?
Just about.
Is that right?
Yes. I always do a double check as well, just to make sure I've got it.
Yeah.
So it's 29 times the 736.
Okay, and
21.
that's 21,345 litres.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And this is fairly accurate to a litre, is it?
It should be. I reckon you'll be 100 kilos either side.
Oh, it's nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
that
100
gets
litres.
tested over the way
Yeah,
bridge.
it does,
doesn't
yeah.
Okay.
Over the way
And
bridge.
it's quite easy to adjust as well. So
Yeah.
if like if the tanks get lower, we can, and the lorries go out 100 kilos lighter, we can then adjust it.
Yeah,
so it comes up again.
Yeah, okay.
And it depends on temperature as well.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
temperature and how much we've got in the tank as well. Obviously,
Okay.
if that's fuller, you're getting a little bit more pushed in.
No,
possibly.
okay.
So Andy's now going to weigh off. How long is it going to take him to get back to Cambridge?
Hour and 45, hour and
45.
50.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through the whole thing again.
These boys can do 3 loads a day.
Yeah.
They can do 10 hours driving a day.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's an hour and 45 up, hour and 45 back, they're under the 10 hours
Yeah.
doing 3 trips.
Yeah.
It works well.
And you can certainly clear probably £800 or £900 a day internal wooden
dollars, yeah.
But
But we have to do 730 as a minimum now.
yeah, otherwise it doesn't pay.
It doesn't pay.
Yeah, so
But the flexibility it gives our business for that tanker goes to the field, backs in the gateway, wherever he is, and we've now fitted on the sprayers. We've now got front pumps, so the sprayer doesn't even have to fold up.
Yeah.
It just pulls up and gets pumped in off the lorry.
Fantastic, good.
And I think John's probably off for caviar and oysters, aren't you?
No. No. I know that's fresh in your mind because that's what you had on holiday, James.
Yeah.
And I know this is your first day back. But yeah, it's
Second day.
second
Yeah.
day. It's been a real pleasure hosting Tom.
Yeah.
It's something totally out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have expected it to happen, but the comments on the last video were so strong.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity not to be missed.
Well, we need to close the gap, don't we?
Yeah.
Where this is now going back to the farm, and then we've got the Trinidad story.
Yeah.
And we've you know there are other aspects of fertiliser which goes on in the industry which is worth exploring as well.
And perhaps there's another occasion because things like fertiliser taxation, the carbon border adjustment mechanism, these are all coming down the track.
Which effectively you're taxing food.
Oh, there's no two ways.
If you look at it like that, you think you're taxing fertiliser, but you made the valid point about the 1 in 7, and you are creating a tax on food.
Yeah. Well, perhaps we can come back another time and let's go into some detail on the numbers of that.
Yeah.
Because it's quite eye-opening.
I'd like to do that.
Good.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks
again.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
And thanks, Tom.
Thanks for not letting me come on the boat. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. We've had a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's been really worthwhile because I think we've shown your viewers a side of life that most people just don't get to
totally
see.
agree.
And it's been really varied and a lot of fun. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.